Hello, I'm Dr. Sean Kilday, Chairman of the Department of Communication and Journalism at Rider University, and today I'm joined by Dr. Barry Janes, Professor of Radio and TV and Film here at Rider. Today we're going to talk about the Semester in LA program, what it means, what kind of opportunities it provides for our students, and I was hoping you could give us some insight.
Absolutely. It's a really, really exciting program that we've worked on, put together over the last couple of years. We had our first semester in LA program last spring, took 18 graduating film, television, radio majors to Hollywood, California, worked and interned right there in Burbank. We could walk to Warner Brothers Studios and Universal and Disney and all these different kinds of places. And the greatest part about it was that we were able to have our students do just amazing internships with all kinds of different companies out there. Every one of our students had a very interesting internship experience while they were out there.
Great. So can you tell me a little bit about what it's like to live in Burbank and work in Burbank, and how that might be different from living close to New York City, which Rider is?
Well, one of the things is that Hollywood is just Hollywood. It is the film and television capital of the universe. There's just production company after production company, and just a myriad of things going on out there for anybody's interest. If you wanted to work on game shows, if you wanted to work on talk shows, if you wanted to do films, everything is just out there in Hollywood. New York has some opportunities, there's no question, and some of those opportunities are growing. But this is an immersive experience where what you're doing is that you're working within this industry. You're learning what it's like to be in this industry. You're connecting with people that are in this industry, and it's just was a great experience for all the students that were involved.
All right, can you walk me through how it works? Like, where rubber hits the road, what exactly do the students do? How long are they there? When do they go? When do they come back? Where do they live? How much does it cost? Is it cost prohibitive? These types of things.
No, well, you know what it is? It's a lot of people are familiar with study abroad programs where people will go and study at another institution. This one is set up similar to that, but with some interesting differences. Basically, what happens is that the students can take 15 credits while they're out in LA. What we've done is that we've acquired furnished apartments in LA and Burbank, again, right near where a lot of these production companies are. Our students will live in these apartments. We hold classes right in the complex. We rent some community rooms and conference rooms, have our classes right there. And then from there, the students would be able to go out and do their internship. The cost is surprisingly doable. I think what we calculated was that it wasn't quite even $2,000 more than a regular semester at Rider. So if you lived and you boarded at Rider and tuition, spending an entire semester in LA wasn't all that much more expensive, which was kind of surprising even to me when I was putting together the numbers and the figures for this kind of experience. It really worked out well. One of the other things that I liked is that in the apartment complex that we're staying in, there are college students from a number of other institutions that are there, from in Boston, Chicago, Texas, everywhere students reside. And what happens is that you get to meet other college students that are doing interesting things. You get to meet and interact with other professors that are there, and then you get to sort of share some internship experiences with some of these people as well. It's really a great opportunity. I think one of the other things that I liked is that our students, our current students, were able to connect with some of our alums that are working out there. And we had some of our alums come in and do some presentations and have some discussions with other students about how they got started in the industry.
Interesting. Okay, why is something like this important, specifically for a student who might be interested in pursuing a career in the media?
You have to get your foot in the door. You really have to get your foot in the door. And this provides that kind of opportunity. Again, Hollywood and the Los Angeles area, this is the film television capital of the entire universe. And what happens is that if you want to work in this industry, being out there, making these connections, meeting these people, finding the lay of the land. You may find out that you don't enjoy LA. I mean, those are all kinds of things that you can find out there. But this idea of learning the sort of the lay of the land, where the production companies are, what some of the jobs are. A lot of our students were doing jobs that they never even realized that there were jobs. Found new directions and new experiences out there where they learned a heck of a lot about what they want to do. So I really think that you can find yourself while you're out there and find a little bit more about the career niche that you want to get yourself into.
Great. Can you talk a little bit about if it existed, a culture shock or the culture adjustment for our students, most of them from the Northeast, going out to Southern California, and what it was like for them?
You know, I think that, to be honest, like to answer your question, I think it was surprisingly easy. I think that the major things have to do with things like traffic. I mean, Los Angeles is just notorious for traffic and getting around and moving around. I think that the one great culture shock that the students really enjoyed was that it was warm the whole time we were there. And we're talking about, you know, never dropping below the 60s, and while we're having some snow and things back here, it was just this beautiful warm weather. Access to the beaches and the mountains. The landscape out there is just wonderful, where you know that you can be at the beach or in the mountains within a very, very short time, and I think the students really enjoyed that. So I'm not sure that that the students, you know, when I think of culture shock, I think is that something bad. I didn't get that. I got a lot of good, positive culture shocks by being out there.
Okay. So if a student was interested in pursuing this semester in LA, what exactly do they have to do?
The basic thing they should do is just contact me. Send me an email, janes@rider.edu, and what happens is that I can forward them all the information that they need. I've got an information packet that I put together that talks about the classes, talks about housing, talks about costs, talks about internships, talks about all of these kinds of things, and can answer a lot of their questions. It's also a great kind of packet if you've got, you know, parents you want to share it with, and that you can go over all kinds of things with them. After that, what happens is that we can meet, be happy to answer questions from them or from the parents. I often get questions from parents and communicate with parents quite often about this kind of a program. And then there's an application process that we'll send them an application, share it with them an application. They fill it out. Once we review the application and meet certain kinds of criteria, we'll invite them to be part of the program.
Great. That's wonderful information. Thank you for sharing it with us, Dr. Janes. Thank you all for joining us.